Weekend is officially underway around here. We don't need clocks. It's like a casino in here on Friday. We don't need to know what time it is because when the Bill Squire Friday Get Down starts, we know. It's the weekend. The weekend for our listeners overseas. And it's brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. 35192 if you want to text in here, by the way. Guardians will play tonight. It's the first of three in Kansas City. The only night game of the series, afternooners tomorrow and Sunday, and then they come back home to start up against the White Sox. I think that's 4 games. I think they're making up Tuesday's a doubleheader. They're making up an earlier rainout game or something. And they'll play tonight in Kansas City. 8:10 is your start here on WMMS. So 7:40 is when that pregame will begin. There's breaking news, by the way, for people who want breaking news.
Breaking news. Alan Cox Show! Exclusive news update!
Elon Musk has notified Twitter that he's terminating the deal to buy the company.
Oh, my goodness.
What a nerd. This has been the least shocking news of the day.
Ah, you dope. I told yous in May this is exactly what was going to happen. He was going to come up with some reason he couldn't do it. He said they haven't provided him with the relevant business information. He was making up all kinds of reasons because he's just trolling people. Elon Musk is not a serious person. And, he tweets all sort of nonsense. He never follows up. He's not the founder of Tesla. He pays for SpaceX with our money. He gets billions of dollars in subsidies and taxpayer money. Back to COVID. I'm going to send ventilators to hospitals. No, didn't. I'm going to donate billions of dollars to the UN food program. Nope. So there was no point in this why he was able to tell advertisers or potential advertisers why spending money on Twitter would be smarter than spending it on Facebook or YouTube. Because those are proven winners. Mm-hmm. Facebook and YouTube, proven moneymakers. Twitter has never made money. He's never worked for a company that's been dependent on advertising for revenue, let alone run one. So that doesn't give investors a lot of confidence about Twitter long term. This was all a troll. This guy's not more. What was his initial thing on this? He was all committed to free speech.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
No, not at all.
All he does is troll people who disagree with him. He doesn't care about free speech. Twitter, I mentioned this before. Twitter's not even in the top 10 social media platforms in the world. It's behind Pinterest. So, Twitter is usually...
You have freer speech on Pinterest.
Yeah, you can put your decoupage up there all day long. Trump put Twitter on the map. Like him or not. That's what he did. Twitter is primarily like journalists and public figures, and I don't know how many regular people are on Twitter. So, I don't know.
I use Twitter for news, basically.
I think a lot of people do,
and
as an aggregator.
I'll throw out a dumb joke here and there. Sometimes you'll see a funny video. There was a video that I retweeted the other day of Maya Rudolph on Hot Ones where she is freaking, and it's so funny.
Oh, from that, are you watching that new show? That's a scene from that show, right?
I just saw that one.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think it's
really funny.
It's a scene for this Apple show she's on called Loot.
Oh.
That's funny, yeah. I don't think it's a real Hot Ones. I think it's a scene in that Loot show.
Okay, well, It's still very, very funny.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
She sells it hard, and Maya Rudolph is great.
Yep.
But that one's that, and then there's another one I posted yesterday of a guy making jungle juice in his sink, and it is so gross.
I thought you had to make it in the jungle.
You need it in a trash can.
Oh, that's normally how you do it.
Not a jungle trash can?
And
Get a
it's
jungle trash can.
just so much bad alcohol, like 2 bottles of Everclear, all these different vodkas and
then what? He just
peach
sticks a straw in it.
And he takes a cup and just puts it in there. And,
I was only about a year into drinking. I was probably 27. And I went to a party. I was still in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I went to a party where there was one of those giant brawny yard tub with a liner in it and jungle juice. And I don't know if it was Curacao, whatever the blue stuff is. Everything was mixed in there. And I don't recall being as drunk as I had been that night. I've been
It's a
probably...
lot of alcohol.
Holy smoke.
A lot of booze. And it tastes like juice, which is your problem. And then you eat the fruit and you get all drunk all over again.
Oh, the fruit, yeah.
Did yours have fruit in it? Like fresh cut fruit?
No.
Low budget.
Oh, yeah. This was like a game time that somebody
do.
just poured stuff into this giant bucket and you stuck a cup in. But they weren't getting all fancy with fruit.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to go.
So, yeah. So Elon Musk was, just trolling the whole time. So, Twitter's been for sale a long time, a bunch of times, but nobody kicked the tires and thought it was a great company. So the fact that he never had any intention of plunking down. My only question is, Twitter told him you're going to have to pay $1 billion to get out of this. So I assume he's probably found a way to wriggle his way out of this, or he'll get his lawyers to make whatever case they can make.
Well, it's a bust.
Yeah. So he's coming up with all kinds of reasons to not do it, but again, no one is surprised by that.
It's like when Michael tried to bought his condo
Yeah.
in the office, and he's like, "This place isn't good after," and they're like, "Hey, this is gonna cost you a lot more money to back out of this deal."
Yeah. That's right.
Do you have Peacock, Mary?
No.
Oh, they have.
That's a personal question.
The super fan episodes on there, and there's a lot of deleted scenes, and it's pretty fun to go through and watch them again that way.
I gotta pee.
Peacock is they're really trying to get some original shows off the ground, but they're having a hard time. And there's some funny shows, like they got Girls 5 Eva, which I think is funny. They got that Rutherford Falls with Ed Helms. Craig Robinson's got a show over there. They're having a hard time getting their own shows off the ground.
But all I watch on there, I watch it a lot because I watch The Office, I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I went through the whole Superstore show.
The Office is
Great
always
show.
on TV, though. Like, I feel like I
But
can
I don't
turn on
have-
TV. Oh, we have DirecTV Stream.
Yeah,
or
I don't
whatever.
have that. So
Yeah, I have
just-
Hulu Live, and it's always on Comedy
So
Central.
I'm like, yeah, you just that or Cozy or whatever. You'll find
Yeah.
it on TV at some point.
I just don't have any live TV apps right now, so I
Yeah.
just watch it on there. And did you watched Superstore, right, Alan?
Love Superstore.
Superstore's
We
great.
binged it, I think, Christmas before last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very funny show.
Very funny show. And it was on for 6 or 7 seasons, and I never met another person who watched it. I never heard anybody talking about Superstore. I don't even know. I think we just stumbled onto it. But people must have been watching because it doesn't get renewed if people aren't watching. It was on for a bunch of seasons.
Yeah, it was on 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Somebody they mentioned waffle stomping in an episode, and someone tagged me, and they're like, "I think they stole your joke." I'm like, "I'm not the only person that's ever waffle stomped." Or
That
talked
guy,
about it.
that Justin Spitzer or whatever, who I think came from Parks and Rec or The Office or something, he had a new show called American Auto, but I don't know if it's even gotten renewed. It was on a guest star and, different people, but still funny-ish. But Superstore I thought was a very funny
Yeah,
show.
very funny show.
Alan, it's Dustin down here in Georgia. I tell you, I feel a little naked using this thing to talk to you, but I figured I'd give it a try. But, old Mayor was talking about that boy wanting her to, bend over while wearing a thong for $1,000. Hell, I think she should do it as long as she ain't got a lot of roast beef action going on. Hell, you ain't gonna be able to see her little tutu. I mean, it'll be all right. I think she should go for it and then let us know, how it went.
Is that really him?
Yeah, that's hey,
sounds
Dustin.
different with that.
Well, because he's
Sounds
usually on the
different.
phone.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds weird, kind of.
Alan, it's Dustin down here in Georgia. I tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Dustin.
clearer.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Her little toot.
Was Dustin the one that sent that email?
I don't
'Cause-
know.
Oh, I thought he said tutu.
Oh, I thought he said toot.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's very funny, but no.
The other day, you guys were talking about Mary's mom having storage units, and my wife has a friend who moved to West Virginia because of hard times to live with a family member, and she had a house here in Bay Village full of furniture, and she took all the furniture with her. When she got to West Virginia, she put it into a storage unit, and surprise, that storage unit ended up burning down to the ground.
Imagine that. Hey, we got to get over to my storage unit because I want to make sure that I have the rent paid. And wait, what? What's that?
Dude,
Oh, okay.
cover it in your renter's insurance. You can cover storage units in your renter's insurance.
Well, maybe she did. I mean, his message cut off, so I don't know what the Act 3 of that story was, but is this an okay drop? The fire
Great.
sound, is this okay?
Yeah, this one works.
Okay, what about, is that one all right?
What's the fart you're using? Yeah, that little fart.
A little plunk.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, I'll keep that then.
Probably sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
Tell you what, on the subject of The Office, you guys mentioned that NBC Universal, which I think is the same company,
Yeah.
they did not do their diligence in the way of, I guess they weren't paying that close attention to what could possibly be merchandised. It's weird how some of these companies operate because some of them seem to want to prematurely merchandise things, where as soon as more than a couple of people dig on your property, they're merchandising everything. And then other things just go by the wayside. NBC Universal does not own Dunder Mifflin trademark.
What?
Nope.
And so they're trying to sue someone, the person who legit bought the trademark. NBC is now trying to, they call the person a trademark squatter, which is just,
Is it illegal?
no, it's legal. It's like all the people who bought those URLs back in the day, bradpitt.com. I own that. If he wants it, he's going to have to be bradpitt1.com or whatever.
Yeah.
A guy who has his own media group, he registered Dunder Mifflin with the Patent Office in 2016, 3 years after The Office went off the air, by the way. How many seasons was The Office?
8 or 9?
Okay, so
Yeah.
8 or
Nine seasons.
during the first run of the show, nobody at NBC was like, hey, maybe. So this guy can sell Dunder Mifflin merch, and it's his money. And now NBC is trying to sue him because they tried to register it 2 years ago, and they go, no, somebody already owns this. The guy's company also owns the trademarks for Dillon Football, which was from Friday Night Lights, Tree Hill Ravens, which was the basketball team from One Tree Hill, Nostromo, which is, of course, the ship from Alien, and a bunch of other things.
I need to lock up farts right now.
Even better.
Yeah. Speaking of One Tree Hill, I never watched that show, but they were back in the news because one of the girls on that show, her husband died. Did you read that story? Bevan Prince is the girl who was on One Tree Hill.
Bevan?
Bevan Prince.
Bevan.
And they were boating off the coast of North Carolina, and her husband was in a different boat, and she was filming it or something. His boat got hit by lightning, and he died.
Whoa.
They're out on the ocean.
That is just bad luck,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
Performed CPR on him until they arrived at the marina, but her husband died. He was 33 years old.
Damn.
That's so sad.
Wild. They got married in 2016.
Why were they in two boats?
Don't know.
And they're small boats?
Don't know.
Kayaks?
Jet skis? Still crazy.
Yeah. Somebody else filmed, there was a video that went semi-viral a couple days ago of a woman who was in a car. Everybody now has dash cam video cameras and they're just rolling or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was anybody she knew, but the pickup truck in front of her in traffic or on a highway gets hit by lightning.
I saw that.
That's wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
They slow it down. It's crazy.
But do you come out with powers?
No.
No, you come out with smoky.
It's actually a
You
good
come out
place to
smoky.
be
Yeah, like you got pride.
because the tires ground the car.
Yeah.
So
You're grounded.
you're grounded. You don't get hurt.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
There are people who get hurt in cars get hit by lightning, but okay, so you don't come out with any kind of powers whatsoever.
Not that I know of. Or if they do have powers, they got to keep it to themselves because otherwise there's going to be some scientific research center that wants to capture them and do a bunch of tests, and then you're just living in a lab the rest of your life.
What if Mary has a friend who is convinced that nobody wants to talk to her because she's been hit by lightning? And Mary feels compelled to tell her that she's absolutely wrong, that there are other reasons people don't want to talk to her. It's got nothing to do with her being hit by lightning.
It's just that she
Is that-
sucks.
Is that an
It's not
argument?
because you got struck by lightning. You just
Is that an
suck.
argument that she should get into?
Well,
Is there value to that?
I think in that one.
arguably, being struck by lightning is a great topic of conversation.
Yeah, I think that would make people
So
want to talk to you.
Your story's full of holes, man. Like Swiss cheese.
But that's why it's easy to have that conversation. You say, no, people want to talk about the lightning strike.
You suck.
It's the rest of your life that
Yeah.
nobody wants to hear about at all. No one cares about your guinea pigs or
Guinea pigs. I
Or
mean,
your
I don't know
aunt-
anything about guinea pigs. It might be a little informative for me.
or your Aunt Selena and what she's going. Like, we just want to know about the lightning strike.
Well, people want their story to be told. What do they say? Everyone's the hero of their own story,
Yes.
right? That's why people are so convinced that what they do and how they see things. I mean, people that maybe don't have as much awareness as other people. Everybody thinks that what they're seeing and that's their story. You're the hero of your own story, right?
Right.
Nobody considers themselves the villain of their own story. I mean, I do. But I mean, not a lot of people do that. So
You think of yourself as your own villain?
I think of myself as the villain
The
of my
villain
story.
of your story.
So
What is it like,
always working on it, but
Then why didn't you start referring to Casa Cox as your lair?
because it doesn't work with the alliteration.
It doesn't have to.
Why does a casa? I mean, it's where my family lives.
Your family's also evil if you're evil.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
No, that's not the way that works.
I think it is.
No.
Your offspring also become evil. Have you seen Austin Powers?
Unless they're trying to stop you.
Dr. Evil and Scott. Scott wanted,
becomes evil at
but
the end.
he wanted nothing to do with it at the beginning.
He was an angsty teenager.
Well, that's because his dad was a physician.
Called typecast.
Do we know that he was a physician?
He was a doctor.
There's other kinds of doctors.
Oh, like which doctor?
Veterinarian.
Was he PhD evil? Was he a
Maybe.
doctor of philosophy? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
I don't think he was a physician.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Bill,
Yep.
I'm looking at not a clock.
It's just, you got a feeling?
I do. I've been struck by some kind of lightning, and it makes me want to start the weekend, but only you can do that.
Yep.
So do I have your permission to do that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Everybody have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Brother Leslie, how?
All right, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down is in honor of the late, great Murray Soul here at WMMS. And it's how we get the weekend going, courtesy of Cleveland Whiskey. Take it away, William.
It's Friday! And you got to get down on Friday. Get yourself some Cleveland whiskey. Maybe it's Elon Musk listening right now, and he's saying that his Twitter deal is a bust, but he can drink some whiskey and feel better. Musk Buster, Musk Buster, Musk Buster! It's Friday!
You heard it.
Musk Buster.
Live, large, and in charge. I'm sorry?
You can keep my mic off. I have to pee so bad.
Wow, okay. The Friday Get Down punched Mary's bladder.
Dude.
It's a good way to start the weekend with an empty bladder.
ClevelandWhiskey.com, by the way. Delicious cocktail recipes there, like the cold brew magic frappe, magic rabbit whiskey and cold brew coffee, or the bourbon s'mores cocktail. Yummy. Oh. It's available in a dozen plus states, so go to clevelandwhiskey.com to find out where you can get it.
It's the Alan